Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of the Wrestle Geek Podcast. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Mitch, and I'm joined alongside, as always, by the newly married, for the first time, being introduced as a married man on the Wrestle Geek Podcast. Richie, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, yes. Mitch, how is everything going on? I am newly married, very happy. Came back from the mini honeymoon, the prequel to the big honeymoon, the cruise to the Bahamas. Very excited, very happy to be here for the newest episode of Wrestle Geek Podcast.
And I'd like to add on a personal note, once again, congratulations to my brother from another mother. I was very happy and proud and honored and all that good stuff to be at the wedding, and we had a phenomenal time.
Absolutely. You were not just at the wedding, sir. You were actually on my right side. You were one of the best men.
That's right, sir. And I was honored to be there as well. So, but I just wanted to extend that on a public forum for the millions and millions of people listening around the world, and also, and by millions and millions I mean two. And I also want to welcome my other co-host, if you will, baby, from the other side of the world. He is the American dream, even though he's not American. That's right, coming from the UK. Howie, what's up, buddy?
Hello, everyone, from the United Kingdom, all the way from London, England. Here is Howie. Yes, I'm back once again for the Wrestle Geek Podcast. Word to your mother? Is that, no, that's terrible. What am I saying? But it's great. I forgot to say, guys, it's been snowing here. It's been crazy.
Oh, we're not too far behind. We got a nor'easter coming in tomorrow for us. We got about 12 to 18 inches as forecasted.
Oh, yes.
Which probably will only get 2.
The storm, I might add, the storm has me beat by 16 inches. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Unbelievable. Guys, I can't compare to your inchage, I'm afraid. I feel
right.
Now that you've revealed to me your inchage, I feel inadequate. Quite frankly, I'm embarrassed. I feel less of a man.
Oh man, 2 inches? Oh yes.
But the thing is, in this country, in England, we only get a few inches.
Oh,
we only go a few inches deep, and it all falls apart here. I tell you, we can't handle it. Man, we only go in.
I wish when I
go a few inches.
If that's the truth, then I wish when I was still single that I would have made my way over to the United Kingdom. I would have been the big man on campus, if you know what I mean. Oh yes, the old American sausage. Oh yes.
No, I was talking about. I was still talking about snow. I wasn't talking about.
I mistook you.
Sorry,
I mistook you.
Sorry, no. But the funny thing is, though, is that going back, like this has been a very rare occurrence on the south of England where I am based. This is the second time we've had snow in a few weeks. That never happens. A few weeks ago, the reason for this to happen the first time, a few weeks ago when we had our first bout of snow, was that we had something apparently the media called the Beast from the East, and it came from Russia. The Beast from the East. Well, we all know that the real Beast from the East is Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, yes. Bigelow.
And the reason why we got the snow is that the Beast from the East, which was a weather system from Russia, met with another weather system, a storm coming up from the southwest, and that was called Emma. Now, what happened in my mind was a tag team of Bam Bam Bigelow and Emma.
And Tennille
Dashwood. And that's what created the influx of snow here for the first time in years. I don't think it's snowed here in years. But it's great because I got to play outside in the snow with my kids. First time they've built snowman and stuff. It was great. But,
Very cool.
But everything falls apart here. People can't hack it. People are having to abandon their cars and stuff because no one's prepared for this stuff. We're just not cut out for it. But Richie, I also would like to extend my my congratulations for you becoming a wedded man.
Thank you, Howie. I really appreciate that.
I was wedded myself some 6 years ago. 6 years ago this year, and I remember what a wonderful thing it is. And time passes by so quickly. And so, where did you go for your mini moon?
We just went to the city into Manhattan. We stayed downtown near the World Trade Center, which was actually I proposed to my wife actually at One World Trade. Because I renting out the 102nd floor of the actual building, and then it had a whole thing with sunset, and we slow danced, and I proposed after the slow dance we had, and went to Little Italy for dinner and stuff. But yeah, we went to keep it close to that area to kind of make it special, and then we pretty much just like toured the city. Went to Little Italy. We went to the top of the Empire State Building. Took a walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. Went in Midtown, like in Hell's Kitchen for some really good restaurant over there. Southern hospitality. It was a good time. The weather was great, which was really good. And held up for us. Not considering what's going to be coming in the next couple of days, but no, as a whole, everything went very, very well.
Fantastic. That is awesome. I mean, it is nice to get away on a little miniature honeymoon. Before the main one. Good to get away straight after the wedding. It's a nice little break. I mean, what I remember from my wedding day was just how much I had to smile. I was smiling for 24 hours, maybe even 48 hours nonstop. Yeah. Even in my sleep, I was smiling. Days later, I had chronic face ache from smiling so much. It was just like, doctor, I can't stop smiling. It was a terrible affliction to be dealt. But yeah, we were very, very happy, and my left hand became much heavier, as I'm sure yours is now. You got a bit of bling on your left hand now, I guess.
Yes, this is true.
He's got a very nice ring. Very nice ring.
Thank you.
I think I was the one holding that ring, actually.
I'm not sure who was holding who, but
Mitch, did you enter the premises at any point to the theme, the Karate Championship tournament music from Karate Kid 1? You're the best around because you're the best man. That's got to be your theme music.
I did it. I like that one. I like that theme. I thought it was good.
I love that.
I should have played it. I should have had him play it. I did have him play the cha-cha slide towards the end. I wonder if that's going to be on the video.
I'm sure it will.
I did the cha-cha slide.
Did you get the oldies?
I think
did you get the oldies?
I did, but you know what happened was you were like saying your goodbyes to somebody or another. But I was trying.
We were by the door and stuff. Like I heard you say like we need the bride and groom in front, and like people were walking out like, oh, I can't get to the dance floor.
I was trying to do it as like a special.
Now, and I'm like, shit.
Well, the thing was, I was asking him for like an hour to do it, and he didn't do it, and then finally he's like, all right, I'll do it, and then I was like, all right. So I just wanted to kind of do it as like a treat, like as a special thing, like figured you and I would get up there and do the cha-cha slide, you know what I mean? But
so I actually did get a snapshot though from somebody who got a snapshot of me and you dancing on the dance floor. We did that quick thing, you and me, like you were going back and forth, like it worked out perfect, and we high-fived afterwards.
Oh, that was fun.
So I actually got a snapshot of that. I'll have to send that to you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be up in your grill the whole time, but whenever I had the opportunity to dance with you, I took the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But I know you had many other guests to dance with and stuff. That's why I didn't want to always be dancing and I didn't want to always be there.
But I definitely heard you, and you're like, oh, I need a bride and groom on the dance floor. Like as we were right there by the door as you were doing. I'm like, all right, I guess when I get into the dance floor, because we had everybody kind of walking out at that. It's like, all right, And
I just wanted to do something fun. I figured it would be cool.
It did seem you had a decent sized crowd that wanted to dance floor for it. I think you had at least maybe like 20, 25 people on the dance floor, right? Doing the cha-cha, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So it worked out good.
It was a nice party.
You didn't go for the Dirty Dancing lift.
Oh,
wow, had the time of my life. The lift is like Mitch is lifting Richie into the air.
Well, speaking of that, hold on one second.
There was one shot though when he actually lifted me up and he tossed me to all the bridesmaids. The bridesmaid had to hold me up for the picture.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
And then all the guys are trying to get me down, and Mitch was like, "Everybody, just get the hell out of the way." He just like put me down. He's like,
Yeah, I wish we had that on video. I hope they videotaped that. But
Oh,
no, I mean, at least they were kind enough to have me pick up your wife first, and then at least that warmed me up a little bit for your friggin' dead weight. But yeah, it was cool. It was a good time.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Good times, memories, huh?
It was a great party. It was a
Sweet,
great day.
sweet.
I mean, everything couldn't have went better, you know.
Mm.
And I
I'm
had
telling you, it really could have went more perfect than it did.
had the honorary groomsman, Mike, who was with me the whole time too. He kept me company the whole day. He was like my liaison. He was with me the whole
He
time.
rode in the limo, right, on the way there?
Yeah.
He actually
No,
rode in the limo, right? Okay, good.
He rode in the limo on the way to the catering hall. Yeah.
Yeah, right, from the church.
Yeah, because remember I had asked you if it was okay, and then you said no
Yeah,
problem.
I said absolutely right away. It's
Yeah.
like, I wanted to make sure we got
Yeah,
it.
and then, like I said, he was with me the rest of the night. Like we were like inseparable.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You
it
know,
was
had
fun.
him in the bridal suite with us and stuff. It was great. I told him to come outside, take a picture and stuff. Then the three of us got in there, take a picture together. It was good. It was a lot of good stuff.
It was a good time, man. Couldn't have went better. I mean, in my opinion, personally, but
I agree.
But all right. So getting off to the wrestling, we've done 11 and a half minutes of
Wrestling?
reflecting.
What?
Of
What
reflecting.
What's that?
What do you mean? Is this a wrestle podcast? What do you, a sports entertainment podcast? I don't know. So Raw opens up with Kurt Angle saying that Roman Reigns is not going to be there, and then all of a sudden Roman Reigns magically emerges from the crowd, a la his Shield days. He just pops in, I guess. And then I guess they supposedly have him they're gonna have him arrested or whatever. And then they handcuff him, and he takes out all the marshals, quote unquote, which obviously probably independent wrestlers. And then he gets his ass beat by what do you call Lesnar?
Bork Laser.
Yeah, Bork Laser. Brock
Pork laser.
Lock breakfast.
Bork
Yes.
Laser.
I mean,
Bork Laser.
it was a pretty good segment. It kind of took me back to like the old Austin days, I guess.
Yeah.
It was-
Reigns. I said last week that Roman Reigns. He's a polite Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, he would Roman Reigns would wipe his feet on the mat when he enters your home. Stone Cold Steve Austin wouldn't.
Instead of getting ready, be like, I ain't going anywhere until Brock gets his ass out here. Kurt, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna take the chair. I'm gonna sit in the ring right now. I'm gonna wait till Brock comes out.
He's kind of
Do you mind if I have a seat?
yeah. It's like, Kurt, is it all right if I wait here for Brock? Yeah, take a seat.
Oh,
yeah,
Thank
okay.
you, sir.
I'm just gonna sip this beer here politely. You know, he's but he needs to be because he's popular with the. You know, I was in a toy shop, not Toys R Us, because they are.
Oh God.
Unfortunately, in a bad situation here right now. But I was in Smith's.
Well, they're out of business here, so.
And they're out of business here too, where the
They can't-
clearance going on right now. But we'll get to that.
KB Toys is back and running now. Have you guys heard that one?
Yep.
I heard the person that bought the rights to it like 10 years ago is considering reopening it.
See, they are. They've officially announced that back in business.
What?
I hope they open up
Yeah.
here too. We never had
Yeah.
KB Toys in the United Kingdom.
And they said they're going to specialize in retro toys and stuff.
Really?
Damn it.
Yeah, that's what there was in the article that was posted on Facebook. I read. Yeah.
That's awesome. Right. There was a point of me bringing up the toys because I think we could talk all night about toys. But I was in Smith's, which is an Irish company which has been thriving here and is the heir apparent of Toys R Us. As they fall, Smith's is going to be the number one toy store, the only toy store that we got here. But I was in Smith's. I'm looking around at the toys, looking at the WWE stuff, which is fine because I'm a father now, which means I'm not just the weird guy on his own walking around a toy store. You know, I have two. You know,
I was that guy for many, many years.
you know, it's okay. I have two children there. I'm allowed to be there. So I'm looking at the toys, and there's a kid. He's looking at the wrestling stuff. There's a mum there, and then a member of staff. They're asking about a particular figure that he's after. And what figure is he after? He's after a particular Roman Reigns toy. And the member of staff, who was the manager, funnily enough, he's sort of got, you know, he's asking, so who's your favorite wrestler, blah blah blah. And yeah, Roman Reigns was this. It wasn't John Cena. this kid, he was there at the toy store. He was looking for Roman Reigns merchandise, and so that just shows you the position that Reigns is currently occupying in the minds of the young fans, which is, let's face it, it's the most important demographic, certainly for WWE. Because let's face it, they buy the most T-shirts and they buy the most action figures.
It's true,
and that's best for business.
Thank you, Triple H, for stopping in. It's always a pleasure to hear your beautiful voice. But yeah, so Lesnar whipped his butt, and he got carried away, and then he came back and he whipped his butt a little more, and then he got carried away, and so Roman Reigns got hurt. And then it was Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, and it was a good match. It's pretty solid. But then, of course, she powders and, she gets counted out, and Asuka won the match. Did you guys enjoy this? Or
I thought it was a good match. I mean, I love the part towards the end of the match when Alexa did like a mini sunset flip, like out of the corner.
Yeah,
and, like went for the pinfall, and then like you kind of knew after that point, like, her.
And it was a good. I was impressed by her athletic ability when she did that. Actually, I was like,
holy shit! Like I was really impressed with it.
Yeah,
but I mean, like the whole time you kind of knew the match was kind of this. It was there, obviously. It was going to end in some sort of way where, Alexa was going to get out of the ring, but you knew Nia Jax was going to be the end result of it, but getting somehow interfering because that's going to further their storyline going into it. And I gotta say, Nia Jax actually looked very strong going into the. Going into the match, she's her personality right now, her character, I would say, is getting along with the fans very well. Like they're connecting with it and stuff. And she's honestly where she should be. She should be in the main event title picture with everything she's been doing for the last few months, especially with her matches against Asuka. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and when it even when I went to the Garden on Friday night, she got a huge pop too when she came out. She came out to save. I think Sasha Banks was getting beat up in the ring, and Bayley, and then she came out to make the save, and that was a huge ovation. So she's definitely, and that's a New York crowd, So she's definitely catching on, So that's kind of cool.
I just want to see give a massive powerbomb to Alexa Bliss and go for the pin.
But that's what I'm saying.
And we haven't seen a good powerbomb from a larger individual in such a long time.
I was saying that to Jay actually when we were watching the match. I'm like, why doesn't she just start doing the powerbomb? Like, just it was pretty funny. It's funny that you say that actually. But,
I think it's one of those special occasion moves these days because it's the potential is there. If I was to hazard a guess, it's because it's hard to protect the head of your opponent. Because you're dropping them down in such a way, it can cause that snapback type thing, which is the concussion maker. And they're trying to avoid their competitors having concussions.
Yes, and I agree. But in the same sense,
true.
It's freaking wrestling.
Right. You're supposed to know how to land.
This is not ballet, people. I mean,
right.
I understand where we got to keep, it's like even wrestling has become like a PC driven thing where it's like, oh, powerbombs? No, we can't do that. That's too, it's too risky. Like, come on, it's wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, when they took away the chair shot to the head, I said, all right, you know what, that makes sense. Like, you should, you've seen the way those people used to get waffled with the friggin' chair. That's understandable. That's like a direct shot to the face and the head.
Actually, it's a really good point because actually, what you do see sometimes people do, like even last week, I think it was Mickie James and Asuka in their match. There was a sunset flip powerbomb that Mickie James did to Asuka, and that was technically a powerbomb. Same thing. So why didn't you see it? A lot of people would, Braun Strowman. I think I think last week you guys were talking about it. I think you were saying like Braun Strowman should just be power bombing people because he'd just destroy people, And
why can't Roman Reigns used to do the power bomb when he was in the Shield. They used to do that triple threat power bomb thing, the super bomb or whatever they called it. Why can't he do the power bomb as a finisher when he does that awesome one where he drops down like a tiger bomb? That's an awesome power bomb. You know what I'm saying? Like Why can't Roman Reigns do the powerbomb? You know,
yeah,
like,
and Batista was doing it as well. Not that long ago, he was doing
Oh.
his very peculiar.
and his was awesome too, though. The way
It was good, but
unique.
it was unique, but it was kind of funny because I think he was a guy that had really tight hamstrings. He couldn't really.
He couldn't
extend
bend down.
He couldn't bend his legs, and so what would happen
Yeah.
is as he kind of tries to go into the sitting position,
His legs were like, no, we do not stretch.
His legs.
You cannot sit down.
And so he would have to roll backwards. He'd have to roll backwards out of it rather
Yeah,
than
but-
sit down and lean forward.
It wound up working out for him though, because I think it was a pretty cool. It was something different, you know. It was like kind of like the last ride powerbomb where Undertaker would grab you by the pull your trunks up your ass.
yeah, the
you know, like,
wedgie. Yeah,
it was
The
different,
the
you know?
wedgie bomb.
the wedgie bomb. Yeah. Not only does it hurt on the way down, but it hurts going on the way up. Oh Jesus, you know.
But Nia Jax, yeah, she's built for a powerful power bomb.
Yeah, I don't like the Samoan drop. That shit went out with Tatanka when Tatanka used to do it.
Yeah.
It's one of the most unimpressive. It's a good kind of middle move, isn't it? It's a good setup. It's kind of like, you know, to change the flow of something. It's kind of like, oh, this person's in control, but they come off the ropes. No, Samoan drop, bang! You've changed the flow, and now it's like you're now dominant. But it's not a good finisher or a really good power.
You know,
move. It's not-
you know what I used to like? I used to like when Umaga used to do it. Remember, we used to throw the guy up in the air and then catch him and do the thing that way?
that was
Like,
awesome.
he would throw him up, catch him on his shoulders, and then fall down. You know,
Beautiful.
Umaga was awesome.
Umaga was awesome.
He really was, wasn't he?
He was like the second coming of like the head shrinkers, but better. you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Definitely more athletic.
yeah.
And his manager was
Armando!
awesome as well. That guy was over as over can be.
Where is he?
Yep.
Where is that guy? Has
He's
anybody?
on the independent circuit somewhere.
Is he?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything of him or about him in like since he left. You know, like I don't know where the fuck.
When they
Right.
buried
My name.
when they buried him because he was getting over, then they were like, no, we don't want him to be that over, so we'll just cut it. You know,
They do that a lot.
that was the death of
Like Damien Sandow.
of managers. You know, it's like he was a real strong character and a manager that actually got over in his own right. And you know, we don't have that now. You know, you look back to the days of Heenan and then, you know, Paulie Dangerously and these kind of really strong characters that in their own right were just awesome and could really carry talent who were great in the ring but couldn't necessarily do the talking side of things. You don't really get that now. Managers now don't have that role or that presence. It's such a shame because I'm sure there's talented.
It's a lost art form almost. You know,
It is a lost art form. You know, it really is. It's such a shame. But where were we? We were talking.
Oh, Braun Strowman versus Cesaro is the next match.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did we finish with Bliss and that lot?
Yeah.
What happened?
they got-
What happened
she
in
got
that
counted
match? Who
out.
won?
It was a count out. She got pulled out of the ring by Mickey James, and
Asuka
then
won
as she
by
was getting ready to
count
walk out, right, Asuka won by count, and then Nia Jax came in and absolutely destroyed Mickey James, you know, by bulldozing her, and then
The bulldozer.
and chased,
Oh my God.
In the back. So yeah, that was the end of that match.
That's cool. So yeah, Braun Strowman. Get
Versus
these
Cesaro.
hands.
Get the hands. And of course, you know who won that? I mean, Braun Strowman won. I don't know if there was really much to this match. I like Cesaro. I like Braun Strowman. I just feel like, you know, this. I didn't walk away from this match saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see these guys fight again." You know, and unfortunately, we do have to see them fight again at WrestleMania. But
Well,
who's gonna be
I'm
Braun Strowman's?
I'm saying Elias Samson.
Yeah, that would be best for
Yeah, but he's a
business.
bad guy.
Huh?
He's a heel.
Yeah, he's
Well,
a
he's
heel.
still over with
They're
the fans,
trying to
though.
make Braun
yeah,
Strowman
yeah.
into a good guy.
There's two choices here. I mean, Elias. If Elias is going to wind up being in the Andre Drummond Memorial Battle Royal, that's one thing. If they're going to look for something as big, dominant as far as like, you know, for him to be a tag team, to have as a tag partner, the only other person I could even think of, well, there's two individuals I could think of: Kane, and then which I think could be even more of a possibility, be the Big Show.
Big Show would make sense because he's also a face. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It could be like the only person that I thought was worthy to be my partner is somebody that's just as big as me, something like that,
Right.
And we put our differences aside to kick your asses, and then all of a sudden, well, it's the Big Slow, and then he comes out, but that actually makes a lot of sense. Big Show is definitely up there, I think. What if he gets Hillbilly Jim to be his partner? Don't go messing with a. Oh, we can't sing that song. It's copyrighted. Never mind. You just have to settle for. You have to settle for some generic banjo music like they do on the network.
The thing is, with the Elias being, I kind of want it would make no sense for a kind of a. It wouldn't make any sense in terms of story because they've been fighting each other so much recently. But it kind of would be good because then Elias is part of WrestleMania. He's really over. He gets to do his bit with his guitar.
Did Big Show officially retire or no? I thought I could have sworn I remember reading that somewhere.
What's that?
Who
Did
retired?
Big Show retire or no?
No, he's not retired yet. No.
No, Big Show's not retired. Big Show did
Mark
say
Henry retired, right?
Mark Henry retired. That's how he's getting into the Hall of Fame. But Big Show did say he would be back in time for WrestleMania.
I kind of feel like it'd be a disappointment though if it's Big Show. That's just my
You know what's gonna happen,
no.
right, Mitch? You know what's gonna wind up happening, right?
Show.
You know what's gonna happen, right? We're gonna be sitting there watching WrestleMania. Braun Strowman's gonna come out. It's Big Show. It's gonna be Big Show. It's not Big Show, and I'm gonna go full Kurt Angle, Royal Rumble all over.
Don't go messing with a country boy. I don't know why Hillbilly Jim's popping in my head for. I don't know why. I'm just having this. I have this feeling like he's gonna be the partner. I don't know why. I know he's gonna be there. I mean, they're both big guys with beards. I don't know. That's for some reason. But they probably won't do that. That would be too cool.
Hey, I got it. It's gonna be RoboCop.
Oh man! And Sting is gonna escort him to the ring. Oh
yeah, just like with Sting, back in the 90s. Like in the early 90s, that. It could be the gobbledygooker. I'm just trying to think of wrestle crap partners.
I used to think that Goldberg coming to WWF was the biggest fail coming from WCW to WWF, along with Vader, of course. But now I feel like Sting has finally topped the list of the people that came to WWE, and got just buried. I feel like he literally got buried, and literally by Triple H. You know what I mean?
It was. I mean, that was the thing that Sting always. He had many talks through the years about going over to WWF after WCW went down, and he was always trying to protect his character, and he always felt like because he was the WCW guy, he didn't quite trust Vince, basically. But it's such a goddamn shame he didn't do it earlier. Damn it, mother!
And it's a goddamn shame that they just when he did finally do it, they shit all over him. You know what I mean?
The thing that annoyed me the most, I wouldn't have minded it if I would have liked it if they'd put the WWE title on him. If they were going to put the Universal title on Goldberg, then surely you'd be willing to put the WWE title on Sting, and have Seth Rollins.
Well, I think as far as that goes, I think Sting. They knew Sting would do whatever they really wanted him to do. Yeah. I think the reason he put Goldberg the Universal title was to kind of keep him around because he really wasn't interested after Survivor Series. And then I think he kind of all right, we'll give you the Universal title, and pretty much I think Brock was the one that kind of said to him, I see money in this. Let's build a whole feud out of this. What you can win the belt, and then going into WrestleMania, we can have the match we really never had at WrestleMania 20, and then he can go out that way and stuff. And he goes, and then I'll become champion. I think I know for a fact, they did say in numerous articles that the reason Goldberg stayed around is because Goldberg, that Lesnar rather felt that it was money by him being beaten so quickly by Goldberg, and he can build a feud upon it going directly to WrestleMania starting from November all the way to April. So and it did. It worked.
I definitely read that also. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn shame. Sting. Yeah, didn't come over sooner. But that's very interesting to hear. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Goldberg actually. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, because Goldberg and him are apparently very good friends, I've heard, and let's say that's pretty much it. Just like I said, Lesnar just felt it was money for him. It would be that quick, off factor, and then he just took it from there.
Yeah, it made sense. So,
It was good
Yeah.
money.
and then we had
Good money.
the
So it's-
Revival versus Titus Worldwide, and thank God the Revival won a match. I was so excited about this. I was so nervous. I literally had sweaty palms the whole time. I'm like, are they gonna make them lose again? You know. And thankfully they beat them, which I thought was cool. So match wasn't that great.
Did they drop the O'Neil? Did they drop the O'Neil now from Titus? Because all I kept hearing the whole time is them referring to Titus as Titus.
Nah, maybe they were just being lazy. I don't think they changed his name yet because he's still like an ambassador type for them for the you know, the African American folks and
The
stuff
Make a
like
Wish and all that stuff in there as well. Gotcha.
that.
Okay.
So,
Did I completely missed something? I think it was last year or the year before. I can't remember. There was an incident where Titus O'Neil was suspended from the WWE
oh, yeah, touching Vince McMahon.
because he grabbed
He
hold of
touched
Vince McMahon. I had no idea
Yeah.
this happened, and
Yeah.
I was watching the videos trying to see the footage of it happen. And then I was listening to reading transcriptions of interviews where he in his own words had explained what had happened and stuff. I thought it was incredible. Just what an incredible thing where he was actually trying to, in his words, he was trying to hold. They were all coming off of the main kind of stage area, going into the gorilla area, and he thought it would be good to sort of like say to Vince, you know, stop and let Stephanie through, you know, like a gentleman kind of, whoa, ladies first. But in him grabbing hold of Vince reacted and pushed him off, like, get your hands off me, kind of thing. And it was just like, my God, I'm so surprised that they haven't actually just like turned him into some kind of wrestle crap gimmick where they put like a, you know, they could put like a full, you know, like the Man in the Iron Mask or something, you know, like they could put
Yeah.
completely.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Completely take away all identity and just be like, right, you're gonna do the rest of your contract as this character, which no one's gonna see your face or anything, you know.
Did you actually see the footage or no?
Only there was angles of one from kind of the crowd, which is you don't get to see very much, and then one from more on the stage, and it just looks like, imagine Titus he's just literally kind of grabbing hold of Vince's forearm. It's kind of like
I saw it. It also looks like from some angles that he like grabbed him by the shoulder, like he grabbed his shoulder. Like, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember when it happened and he got suspended for it. I was like, are they really that freaking petty? Like, he was obviously playing around. It's not like he grabbed him to hurt him. You know what I mean? Like, it was so like ridiculous. First of all, he probably shouldn't even have done it because like maybe he thought he was being buddy with Vince McMahon.
yeah.
But it's like, you know, like sometimes you get excited and you know what I mean. Like you don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like you probably just wanted to do it to be funny, and then it turned out to be like turned him into something like that he did something bad. You know what I mean? I don't understand that.
I think it was just one of these moments. He just read the moment wrong, and you know, you just don't touch your boss, do you? Just don't try and touch them. Not unless you're drinking, you know.
Right.
And it's kind of like, oh, the barriers are broken down, and we're mates now, you know. But
Yeah.
if it's just like, you know, I guess Vince is a guy who's got a very powerful aura around him, and he's used to kind of intimidating people, I guess. And he doesn't. I guess it was kind of his way of saying, look, don't try and level with me. You know, it's kind of like get down, you bitch. You know, that's what he was saying. He was like, get down, get your effing hands off me.
Right.
Get down and
Get
know
down
your
now.
get down and know your role. And that was what was happening there. But yeah, I'm so surprised that they've still allowed him to. You know, they should maybe they should give him a gimmick. But it's one of those things where I think it's like his contract will expire and then that'll be him done. You know, I think they're probably not too hot on him for.
And then the next match we had, it was Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Sonya Deville and everybody's favorite, Mandy Rose. It was a pretty good match, actually. They all wrestled very nicely. You guys take anything away from this match?
Just build up between what?
Yeah.
Just between
Sorry, you
Banks
go
and
first.
Bailey, I would say.
You go first, Rich. Hit it.
That's pretty much really. I mean, it's just. I mean, obviously, Absolution is getting better and better in the ring together. You know, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are absolutely awesome in the ring. And not, you know, the further story, anything that's going on between Sasha and Bayley right now is just building up between the Bayley heel turn. You know, and I still believe that is what's going to wind up happening. There will be a Bayley heel turn, not a Sasha heel turn.
Absolutely.
It's been a slow burn, but it's well paced, and you know, it feels like we're getting there. It's just they're just going to pull the trigger on it soon. But the match was good. I enjoyed Sonya Deville. I like her increasingly more and more. I mean, obviously, I like Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is a star, but Sonya Deville's coming on leaps and bounds, and I appreciate her. I just appreciate her, I guess, that's just a nice comment. But
that is.
She wasn't a massive part of NXT. I think with Mandy Rose as well, they never were like Bayley and Sasha were, for instance, and now they're thrust into the limelight. And I think they're really raising their game and becoming something formidable. And I kind of feel like Sonya Deville doesn't necessarily need the MMA gimmick thing. I think it actually, in the long run, it is quite limiting for her. But that's just something I was thinking about. I think actually she could still do all the moves that she does and work the way that she does, but just doesn't necessarily have to always be acting like she's an MMA fighter. I don't think it's really what's going to work for her. But all in all, though,
speaking of Mandy Rose, though, have you guys been seeing any of the stuff with her and Goldust?
Yes, good, isn't it?
They actually got really good chemistry.
It's amazing. And she even bought like outfits that match his. Like they have like the swirls.
There was a last video I just saw that they just had on there. I guess they're trying to get back into it again for a second chance. Yeah. And she actually has exactly the tights that exactly matches what Goldust wears and stuff to go along with the whole gimmick and everything.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, so they actually it was so cool. It was just cool to see their outfits matching, and they look really cool together. It's almost like a better second coming of Marlena, you know what I'm saying? But she can actually wrestle, which is cool, you know. But I actually I enjoyed it. I enjoy their interactions with each other. So it'd be nice if they could do something.
They seem to feud. They definitely seem to feud off one another. They definitely do.
I wish they could do something with them, you know. But
yeah, it's been great, and it's gonna in the long run, it kind of really helps. I'm sure her being paired with a veteran such as Dustin Rhodes, Dustin Runnels, you know, she's going to be learning a lot off of him, you know, and he'll be giving a lot of advice.
Like an actual. Yeah. They should give them actual screen time together. I think they should, you know, not just this mixed match thing or whatever. I think they should they should.
Oh, that'll be a good way to get her out of Absolution, you know, and just have her go with Goldust if anything, and he can just say, you know, like you said, she's like kind of a new age kind of Marlena, just so she can actually wrestle.
Yeah, and I think Goldust could benefit from it too. Maybe they can actually give him a title again for a little bit, you know, just to kind of like as a courtesy to him, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing him as an Intercontinental Champion one more time, you know. He looks better. He looks better now than he did then.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely deserves at least one more title run.
I don't know, you know, it would have been nice if they actually gave him the world title for once, you know, but you know, that ain't gonna happen.
No, the only hope is that one day Cody will do it, and they won't bury him on his return. That he'll be pushed into main event territory, which I think he's working his way to that kind of status, you know, in the Indies.
It's kind of like with like when they brought AJ in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that could have went sour.
Yeah,
he definitely kissed the right ass. That's for sure.
That's for sure. He's
he's
done a sterling job.
He's probably one of the the opposite of what we were talking about before. Like he melded so well right into the WWF landscape, WWE.
Yeah,
and I feel like you know he fits there. You know.
He fits, but did you know he's a flat earther?
What?
He's a flat earther. Have you never seen that footage of where Daniel Bryan, they're all talking smack, the show that is no more with Renee, someone or other, Renee Hot Stuff.
What AJ thinks the Earth is flat? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're having a bit of an argument. You know, on Talking Smack, they'll get in each other's, not in each other's faces, but they start having
I missed that show, actually.
It gets abrasive. And Daniel Bryan is sat next to AJ, and Renee is just kind of like opposite them. And AJ's, I can't remember what they're talking about, but they're not seeing eye to eye. And Daniel Bryan goes, "Oh, really, AJ?" And he goes, "Okay." And he goes, "Renee," he goes, "Did you know AJ is a flat earther?" And then AJ goes, "I am not a flat earther." Okay, I am not a flat earther. It is kind of country. I can't really do that country accent he's got, but he where's he from? It's further south, isn't it? It's
from Jacksonville or something like that.
Earther. He goes, "I'm not a flat earther," and he goes, "Yes, you are." He goes, "You were telling me that that you're a flat earther," and he goes, "No," he goes, "I'm just saying that some of it makes sense." If you think about it, he goes, that's what he says. He goes, "If you think about it, some of it just seems to make sense." And he's just like, "Yeah, so you're a flat earther." And then he goes, "I'm not a flat earther." And it's like, there we go. So apparently,
that's funny. I would look that up.
There we go. So look that up on YouTube. That's the AJ Styles is not a flat earther, but.
So then, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose go over with a pinfall. Deville gives it was a nasty looking kick. It definitely looked like it hit her pretty hard. And she won. So they pinned Bayley to win the match. And then the next segment was John Cena once again calling out The Undertaker, which was more gold. He did a good job. And then Kane came out and gave him a choke slam, which I think it would have made more sense if he beat up Kane. Like if Kane said something like, you should stop, tempting the dead or something, or trying to raise the dead or something like that. And then as he went to walk out of the ring, he should have grabbed him and spun him around and did the AA or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it would have been.
That's a very good point.
It would have made more sense than
I agree.
Because
send
they
that
could have
message
really
to your
they
brother.
could have,
Why did he choke slam? It made no sense. How did it just made John Cena look like a bitch? First of all, because now Kane is like a big giant glorified jobber for the most part, and it's like, all right, so he choke slammed Cena, and now Cena's dead in the middle of the ring. Like, why?
Yeah.
If he's trying to torment, the minute Kane got in the ring. If it were gonna do anything like it, he should have went to choke slam him. Then John Cena gives him the AA, and then he could be on the microphone, send that message to your brother or something like that.
Yeah, that is so much better. That is so much better. Even if he went a little bit, even if he went a little bit Doctor of Thugonomics, a little bit of kind of the early heel Cena, where he had a chain.
Yeah,
busted him open with a chain, and had. And really had him by his hair, or kind of the scruff of his neck, and he's talking into the camera because Cena, he can do that thing. You've seen it before, where he gets really red in the face, and he goes a little bit shouty and a little bit psycho, and he could have gone completely I've beaten your brother to a pulp. What you gonna do about it? That's the Cena we want to see. If you're calling out the Undertaker. Call him out, get so personal because that's the way they were going last week. He was getting personal, but you're right. Mitch. They should have taken that personal bit to another level where, he destroys his brother rather than. What's the point in Kane, who is about as. Oh, he's so irrelevant to the product.
It made no sense. It made no sense.
It made no sense.
He's just here, I was actually, do you know what? I was making myself laugh this way. I do this a lot. I just get a thought in my head where I thought there's probably more value to Kane right now if they completely changed his gimmick, right? And so how they call him in the past they used to call him the Big Red Machine. I just in my head I was inspired by this. There was an episode years ago of The Simpsons where Homer Simpson was there's Homer Simpson, but he was watching TV one day and there's in one of the episodes, he's watching TV and there's this cop show, and there's a Homer Simpson character on it, and he's really cool. And he's like, "That's the end of that chapter." And he has a scarf, and he's really cool. And Homer's like, "Oh, loves this idea there's a Homer Simpson, and they change the character the next week so that he's this kind of fat buffoon guy that goes, "Uh-oh, spaghetti-o!" And it's like, do you know what I mean? If you haven't seen that, look up Simpsons "Uh-oh, spaghetti-o." You'll find what I'm on about. It's hilarious. But that made me think of what they could do with Kane, and it'd probably be more relevant. They should actually go, look, here's Kane with his big red machine. And he comes out like in a fire truck. And he's like, fires glitter into the crowd. And he's like, hi, everybody, it's Kane. You know what I mean? Just fucking, that is what I feel like he's doing right now in my head. Anyway. That was completely weird. That journey I just took you on. I apologize.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What in the holy hell was that?
Oh, I love Howie. Oh man, if I didn't like you, Howie,
Now whenever I see Kane, I picture him coming out on a goddamn red fire truck now.
Once we translate that to American, I understand what you're saying.
But just to let you know, I meant that in all seriousness.
No, I do you did. And
you can stay with it. If you go back,
that's why I'm going to cat litter it. I'm going to cat litter it right now.
And stay with it. And go with it and try and see what I'm saying. If you haven't seen that episode of Simpsons,
no, it makes sense what you're saying. It's like
he
comes out and he's like completely like nobody takes him seriously. Is what
no one takes him seriously.
Like
he might as well come out.
In my mind, I was substituting the fire truck for a clown car, and with like one of those horns that you squeeze and it goes.
Yes, yeah, that.
You know, yeah, exactly. That exactly like the one. That
but he like a kind of a just like I'm trying to think like. Imagine cross-pollinating Barney the dinosaur with Kane, and that's the new Kane. That is about, and if he, because this character is so irrelevant now, it doesn't matter. It's just like,
and that new
favorite demon. That's what I'm thinking.
And that new costume he has is completely ridiculous. I can't stand it.
And then that way, when
his new outfit looks horrible.
It looks like a leotard. It looks like he's gonna go do ballet or something. Because now he's like lost weight and he's not like ripped and roided out anymore. So like now when he walks there, it looks like his legs are skinnier. You know?
If Kane had a hat with like a propeller on the top of it, as well that spins and it goes. It's the devil's favorite demon. Oh, okay. It's like firing confetti, like bang into the audience. They're like, oh, it's great.
Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
He'll light a match. Oh, that fire burns.
Hot. And then that way, if he right now. Check out the booking scenario. If he was that version of Kane, that way when he turns up into the ring and he's like, why, you don't say that about my brother. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it should have been, like a Looney Tunes scenario.
When Cena destroys him, it's kind of like, oh, leave him alone. It's kind of like Kane meets Eugene.
I was just thinking. I literally was just thinking that.
Entenmann's for thought, okay? Check this out. Now, maybe next week when John Cena fights him, he does exactly what we were saying he should have done this week. Maybe he just continually beats on him and, like, destroys him and puts him in the STFU or whatever he calls it nowadays. I think it's just STF now. But he puts him in the STF, and he doesn't let go or something like that, and then that's when the bell starts ringing, bing, 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 and then the lights go out, and maybe, like, the bong hits or something like that, Not the bong hit, but the bong
Who's
hits.
hit the bong?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, it should have been, maybe next week something will happen, like, devastating like that, where, maybe The Undertaker doesn't come out, but there's some kind of magic shit that happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping that, Cena just comes out at one point at me and no word from Taker, and all of a sudden Kid Rock comes out and plays him in live, and then he comes out on the bike as the American Badass, kicks the holy hell out of him.
Yeah, that's what should happen. But
kind of funny because they were like saying there's a bit in John Cena's ripping his promo, and he's saying that he was like saying that the Undertaker is an egomaniac, and it was like that's funny coming from a guy who is calling out the Undertaker and is obsessed with each week with having a spot at WrestleMania with him over and over again. You know, just like I think John Cena's the fucking excuse my language. I think John Cena's the egomaniac. It's quite clear. But yeah, when's Mark coming? Come on, Mark, come and kick his ass.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't started referring to him as Mark yet, so I think maybe he's definitely still going to be the Undertaker, you know. But definitely the
unless he goes all out real, like, you know, next couple of weeks, like, come on, Mark, you know, let's be real about this, Mark.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it unfolds next week. So, The Miz and the Miztourage versus Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. You know, I got to be honest here. I watched a little bit of this. Didn't really have my interest. Not that it was, you know, not that it was terrible or anything, but it's just, you know, you kind of knew where this was gonna go. I knew the Balor Club was gonna win. You know, it's like one of those. It was almost like even though he's the Intercontinental Champion, it was almost like a job match in a sense. You know, because you kind of knew that one of those other fools were gonna get pinned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, totally.
But in any case, I don't know. Just skip over this, and then let's get to the meat and potatoes here. This is what everybody wants to. What everyone wants to hear. You heard it in the opening. We had a nice, beautiful cover actually of the song. But Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy in the Ultimate Deletion match, I guess you can call it, the movie match. I thought it was pretty cool. You guys?
Yes, it was wonderful.
What'd
you think there, Howie?
Yeah, I like it. I love I like bringing back. The funny thing is, right, when they did this kind of match format back in TNA, I was never particularly sure about it. I didn't like it. But I think it's one of these things that it grows on you over time. And now that I watch it, I like it. I like the difference from the normal product. I think it adds a kind of variation to the entertainment value of sports entertainment. And yeah, it was. It's kind of part. It's kind of it's like it's funny because it's like serious and kind of horrific, but at the same time, it's almost like comedic as well. You can't take it too seriously, but that's kind of it's fun. Yeah, I thought it was good in the fact. I mean. So Wyatt, though, I mean, I'll go straight into the kind of the end. So Wyatt is like he got beaten, and that leads us to an interesting kind of mystery now about like what's happening with him. What's going to be his character?
Two things. Lake of Reincarnation, that was number one. But the more interesting thing was that after that match, he actually posted on Twitter a simple goodbye. That was it.
Whoa.
So
who said goodbye?
Bray Wyatt. It was a simple tweet that just read goodbye, and that was it. So I mean, either it's going to be something with the Bray Wyatt character going forward with Matt Hardy, you know, as he's been woken, or they're just going to completely repackage him altogether. He's going to come back as somebody completely different.
Aww. I like Bray Wyatt.
He's totally going to come back as Disco Fever Man. Disco Fever.
Oh yeah,
Disco Fever.
The disco ball will drop down from the ceiling. Oh yes.
They'll be like, "Hey everybody, who wants to boogie with me?" And everyone's just going like, "What the hell's going on?"
He's going to be the second coming of Brodus Clay. He's going to be the Funkasaurus.
You know what they really should do to get him over if they want to? Just have him come out of the crowd one night and just like kick the crap out of somebody. And be like, I was this Husky Harris guy. I was a Bray Wyatt character. But let's get right down to it. I'm a Wyndham, and I'm coming from a family of generation of wrestlers. And he just gets real about it.
A shoot. He's coming out to do a shoot.
There's like a complete shoot night. He comes off as being like, maybe calling himself like as another blackjack or something. You know what I mean? And in honor of his grandfather.
I just had a terrible flashback.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
What happened?
I had a terrible flashback of Dustin Rhodes coming out and burning the Goldust fucking outfit.
Oh
saying,
yeah.
Oh, I'm Dustin Runnels and I'm not Goldust, and that did not work. I hope they don't do this.
He did it in WCW as well when he became Uncle
You
Fester.
wanted me to come out looking like Uncle Fester, and I'm not gonna do this shit anymore. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he was Rain, right? That was he was known as
Rain,
Rain,
yeah.
with all black and he had like the white makeup on.
Well, they were originally gonna call him Platinum, and they were gonna have him just do the same Goldust gimmick, but they were afraid they were gonna get sued. So, and he was gonna be like silver instead of like a silver color because it's white gold, I
Right.
guess. But that didn't happen. So thankfully. But yeah, and then they have him
Was
come out.
it Rain? Who was it? Oh no! In WCW, he was
Black Rain, wasn't it? Black Rain?
No, he was going to be 7
Oh, 7. That's right.
when he was Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
He was
And he
7,
floated to the ring.
and he floated to the ring.
painted white.
And
Right.
at the time, I actually thought it looked like a pretty awesome gimmick. Like I was a kid, like I was young, so I saw him floating out. I thought, "Fuck, this looks good." Do you know what I mean? This is like wow. And then he comes out, and he's like, "I'm here to do a shoot," and I was like, "Oh." Now
I'm not Uncle Fester.
So now I'm going to come out in a shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots, and,
Oh,
and everyone just goes, "Oh," and it's just, the thing is like, but if you've got a gimmick, you got to try and make it work, and around because the problem is back then in the Attitude Era, everyone was doing that shoot thing, and it works sometimes, but not every time. And, that was a time when they tried, like you say,
said,
over and
the
over
minute you
again
said
with him
that,
trying
the
to.
first thing
Even
that popped in my
recently, they
mind
did the
was
thing where he come out as
Goldust.
and there was a gold dusting, as I think they
Oh
were.
no.
And it was just like, no,
I
just.
I honestly like. I
big-
like Bray Wyatt. I think he's a cool character. I don't see the need for them to change it. They just gotta.
He is cool.
They just gotta manage him properly because I feel like the feuds that they stick him in, like this one, had such potential. Two weirdos fighting, and then. But they didn't book it properly, you know what I'm saying? Like the way they did the matches, what they did at that the 25th anniversary of Raw,
Horrible.
and then what they did with this, like they shouldn't have put this on regular TV, But in the same sense, I remember I told Richie, I was like,
Right.
What I said to you, like maybe they needed to put this on TV. I don't know.
Well, it's like I think you were saying to me, like we complain that they don't put enough good matches, good stuff to watch on Raw, and then. A match that should be caliber would they actually put on Raw for us to watch, which we would enjoy, but yet we're still not happy because we felt that match should have been on a pay-per-view. So at the same sense, it's like
double-edged sword.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's a catch-22 in a way.
But overall, it was a pretty good experience. The Ultimate Deletion. Got to see a little Jeff Hardy in there.
Brother
That's cool.
Nero.
That was very cool. And there was those bits where Bray is like having flashbacks of his the compound.
Oh, the
burning
compound,
down.
that Randy Orton burned down, yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. It was kind of like because that match from the past was very much based upon what the Hardys had done in TNA. So it's kind of like bringing it together as one. I'm excited. I actually feel like I know this has been going on quite a while, and we had quite a lot of criticisms of their feud leading up to this point. But I felt like this was a pretty good payoff, and I'm actually quite excited to see what happens with Bray Wyatt now because I think he is somebody that is very talented, and we want to really the fans in general really like that character. We really like him, and he's got great potential. It'd be very interesting to see what they can do to give him a lift that can just reinvigorate what he's doing. Maybe it'll just take him into give him that supernatural edge that we've talked about in the past, where it was like that just makes him that bit more powerful, that bit more of a badass. Like the Undertaker, because the Undertaker, he was a badass because he was supernatural and had powers, and we always went along with it. We didn't question it and go, "God, this is some wrestle crap," But with the Undertaker, we went, "I'm going to believe this. I'm going to believe in this guy that can make lightning bolts come from the top of the arena and hit Eddie Guerrero's car."
He definitely made it work. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely.
It's cool, and that's what maybe we get a bit more of that with Bray. But let's see. Let's wait and be surprised.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hopefully it's not the Disco Fever man. Disco Fever.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure, boys. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
we hope everybody that listened enjoyed the this week's edition. We're not doing a special segment tonight because of restraints and weather and conditions and things like that. So, but next week we will return full force.
What about Daniel Bryan though?
I know we kind of just watched that right before we started the podcast.
What about him?
I guess we could talk a few minutes about Daniel Bryan. Sure, why not?
Yeah, huge congrats to him finally getting clear to get back into the ring. Now I think the main question is going to be, who's his first opponent going to be, and what storyline could they possibly give him to go further with his character? What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's there's so many awesome combinations of matches that he can have. I'd really like to see him against Brock Lesnar at some point. That's probably the one I'd like to see. Also, Shinsuke Nakamura.
I really want to see him in Angle.
That'd be great. There's so many options now with him coming back, and he's so over. He's going to be the most over guy in the company. I bet, Reigns is probably going, oh, man. He's just like, I know he's over on SmackDown, but it's just like, I'm the big dog, and everybody loves me now. And just suddenly, Daniel Bryan comes back, and everyone's going to be like, boo to everyone else. And with Daniel Bryan, everyone's just going to be like, yes, yes, absolutely everything. There's time for him to be WWE champion, Universal champion, hold all the belts. He's going to hold all the belts.
I mean, I don't. How far are they really going to go with? I mean, he's not going to be fighting every week. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, at least I don't foresee that happening.
Maybe it might be doing something like what they do with Kurt Angle and stuff. Maybe more aggressively, like they'll have him have a match here, have a match there. But I definitely think they're gonna have him wrestle at WrestleMania, and I think it's pretty cool that he's gonna be returning to the ring after 2 years in the same arena and building where he won the Undisputed Championship from Triple H in the triple. What was it? It was Triple H, or he went in the triple threat match. I'm wrong. He beat Triple H in the first match, WrestleMania 30, but then he beat Orton and Batista to win the world title in the same arena. So I mean, it's kind of got an extra special feel, I think. But if he wrestles there for the first time, and that's where he had like the largest moment of his career prior to that,
it's gonna be great. I'm really pleased, but I think everyone's pleased. My God, like social media lit up today like a Christmas tree. It's insane. Like everyone just posting,
even the crowd reactions, like at the beginning of SmackDown when he walked out, it was just a lot more vibrant and louder than it usually is. So in the fact that he's actually going to get to wrestle again.
What would be great is like they should do it the old school way, where it's kind of like he said in his speech on SmackDown where he was like, when I'm going to come back or where I'm going to come back, I can't say, I don't know. They need to give it some kind of meaning now where he should be doing color commentary or something. Leave it a few weeks, doing color commentary. But The Miz, they should do like they did it years ago, back in like 1991. Ric Flair, when he came to the WWF, he picked a fight with Roddy Piper. I remember getting in his face and like knocking the headphones off of his head. And it culminated with him coming out the next week with the Big Gold, which obviously wasn't the WWF title at the time, and smashing Roddy Piper around the head with the Big Gold. And it was like a real sympathy builder because you were like, my God, I'm really concerned for Roddy Piper. How is he? He's just got clocked with a really heavy gold belt. But it was a great way of Roddy Piper was like, no, I don't want any, leave me alone kind of thing. But Ric Flair got his attention, and that would be a good way for Miz to kind of go, because they have this beef. We know there's this thing there. That'd be a great way. Miz should be up in his face and be like, oh, so you're back now, and pushed in, just aggravating the situation. I'd like to see something like that. Someone to, make him get back in the ring. He's cleared, but someone needs to give him reason to get back.
Push him over that edge.
Push him over that
edge. And then have that one big thing that we're like, he gets knocked out or something. Like, what? That's it. We're going to do this.
That'd be great. So many options. It's great. It's an open book. Wrestling is good. Right now, I feel like, the product it's not always to everybody's taste. Well, then go onto the WWE Network and look back to an era that you preferred. If you liked Attitude Era, watch that. If you liked the early 90s, watch that.
This is true.
Maybe you didn't like WWE or WWF at any any point, well, watch WCW or ECW. There's so much choice. If you know, and then there's, hey, maybe you don't like the current product. Go and watch NXT, which, let's face it, is really good. So it's just, we've never been so spoiled, you know. And let's face it, if we didn't have stuff to criticize, there'd be no reason for this podcast. So
I totally agree. Well,
it can't all be perfect, you know.
This is true.
I'm enjoying it. I think it's great. Looking forward to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Me too. So, all right, boys. We'll see you. We'll reconvene next week, and it was a pleasure as always.
Absolutely, as always, Howie. Pleasure as always, Mitch. Great talking to you.
Thanks very much, guys. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to catching up next week.